So once again, I learned something this week that I am just too old to understand certain things on the Facebook page. Like I just had to shut it off because I just don't understand. So we'll talk about it. We're gonna call a clown a clown. I mean, if it's a clown, you call it a clown. Clowns can be good, but it's still a clown. So we'll talk about that and more. We're running solo. Me and Dane solo.
I
No
don't know if you
Blake.
keep
The
using that
solo show.
word. I don't know if that means
Yeah,
what you think that it means.
it works. It works. It works. Solo. Me and Dane going solo. Outcast Haven podcast starts now.
All right, so,
Yeah,
can I guess what it is?
Yeah,
I think,
you can guess what it is. You already
think-
know what it is.
Oh, do I? I think that you are too old to appreciate all of the memeing on the calling win. Is that what?
So
it
here's here's the whole memes. Yeah, the memeing, the tunic thing. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna go over it from the top. So the top is I watched a lot of the gameplay on Saturday and Sunday of the calling. Couple of the most impressed things I saw was one, Cody Williams on chain. The way he played that deck is a next level. I mean, he was in the top 8. He was one of the top players. Seeing a Briar in the top 8 was very impressive. And then the last match where Michael Hamilton won was super impressive. Just some of the back and forth and plays they made against each other. Really good players, right? 2 good players. Great results. Great tournament. Awesome. Happy, whatever. So then, you know, I look at Facebook and second place player posts self-degrading at himself.
Punted.
Whatever, right? They punted, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. You can do that. I'm not doing that all over social media because in the end of 2 days of people memeing, which to me it was old after 20 minutes of it, just like this is the dumbest shit ever. Like, why is this on here? It turned into look at me from the original poster. Like, look at me. That was all it was about. So if you think it was about anything else besides look at me and then to start like a channel or whatever else, that's what it was. He's a fucking clown. And he's a good player, but he's still a clown. Clowns can be good players. They entertain you, whatever. A clown is a clown. Not a fan of everything that I saw there.
Yeah, I mean, so like I think, yeah, the only thing that bothered
and that's probably just
about it
is
is
my
just,
age.
I think
happens.
so. I think if you're over, I feel like if you're over like 28, 29, 30, and you look at that and you don't see anything wrong, or you like nothing, no part of that rubs you the wrong way at all, then you're probably kind of shitty. Like that should raise some flags of like, oh, this guy obviously like didn't get the attention that he wanted, or anything, even joking that takes away someone else's acumen is shitty. That's just shitty. It's like the whole like I got lucky thing, or like I did, like, you know, like you lost. It's like, oh God, like, oh yeah, I just didn't see this stuff. It's like, no, you're being shitty. You're being shitty for making it seem like they didn't earn the win. That's
right.
It's just what it is.
That's how I see it. It's one of those hard worker mentality type things that is taken away from, because especially with talking about a guy now that's won back-to-back callings, in Michael Hamilton. And I was awesome to see Kieran made a post like, hey, let's celebrate the accomplishment of, and I said this in one of the group chats, might have been the Bravo group chat that I'm in. Like, he's the top player in America right now. I mean, he just has to be. If you win back-to-back callings with that many players, you're the top player in America until somebody knocks you off. that throne. So just like making this 2-day meme and then staying active as the original poster, staying active in it to keep fueling it was like just you're sunburnt, but you're like, fuck it, I'm going out and I'm gonna do some more sun tanning right now. But dude, you're red. You were just completely nope, going back out there. This is me. This is about me. Everybody's gonna look at me. I'm gonna be so fucking red. Regardless, they're just gonna look at me when I walk on the street because I'm so sunburnt. It's all about me. It's a me culture. Me, 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 me. So fucking sick of it. I just hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I see the same thing in sports, like where you see the one kid that celebrates like he did the greatest thing. You're like, dude, you're up by 20. I've seen this in lacrosse. Kid celebrates because he scores and it's 17-1. I'm like, dude, why are you celebrating? Your goal meant nothing, right? They're a bad team. You don't need to celebrate that. Give a mild high five. Great. But no, you got to do Sully and all this shit. It's like, I don't know. Barry Sanders said it the best. Why doesn't he celebrate? Act like I've been there before.
I was just gonna
and I'm gonna go back.
Yep. I was just gonna say that. That's funny. I don't know if people that are under 25, under like early 20s, teens, that's not like a concept. I haven't heard anyone talk like that for a minute. So, but yeah,
act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's Barry Sanders. I've talked.
That. Oh no, I know where.
I can show you.
Yes, it's like a. Yeah, I was gonna say it right. Actually, until you said
you'll never see him celebrating his stuff.
Yep, but I feel like it's just like such a different mentality though too. Like even just with social media and everything in general, so much of it is. I can't remember where I heard it. It's like I don't know if it was a movie or interview or something like that, but it was talking about how social media was the answer to a whole generation being told that they're special and not having an outlet for it. And then social media came around and it just was just like, here's your platform. Show everyone how special you are. And it's just like, yeah.
Like people that call themselves influencers because they take themselves pictures, like that whole thing. I don't understand that. You're not an influencer. You're a clown. I will say one of my proud parenting moments is Mason will take a face off. He'll win it. He'll go down, score a goal. He'll turn back around and he'll run back to the face off circle and get ready for the next face off. No high fives, no jump ins. He just turns around and I have multiple video of him never. The most things he'll do is he'll give a fist bump and he turns back around. Half the time people are chasing after him, going to high five because he's already running back to the face off circle after he scores. And I'm not saying everybody has to be like that. You can celebrate your accomplishments 100%, but it doesn't need to be a big, you know what I mean? Celebrate your team, celebrate your wins, your victories. But we got to get out of this me culture. And I don't know. I think you're 100% right when you talk about social media. Yeah. And
right.
So maybe we need these Russian hackers to knock down all the servers and that will help us.
So moving on past that, I think all of us hated that. Like just because he didn't win. If you don't win, you don't get to just be shitty for attention. But he did. I guess you do get to do that now. In this day and age, you get to do that and be shitty for attention without earning it. So, anyways, great player. Wish he wouldn't have done all that shit because the person who was the better player.
And like I said,
Anyways,
watching the calling was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I will say, and this is like some people be like, I turned down the volume and turned off the comments. So those are two things I did. One, the announcers get way too overboard. They make a couple wrong assessments. They are much better than they used to be when they know the game a lot better. But they still make some stuff that is like, no, that's not how that works. That's wrong.
I can't remember what it was. One of them said something though, and I was just like, oh god damn it. Okay, I muted it like as well. I had something to do. Yeah, just watch the games. No, it was I think it was when they're talking about how he's shackled but he wasn't going to be able to play. Oh, what was the attack? It was a shadow attack.
Right.
But he said he wasn't going to be able to play it. And I was like, no, it's Runeblade or Shadow. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, and it happens. But I was just like, okay, I'm fine with muting that.
I'll still say when I listen to so I'll do the I'm gonna use football because it just relates to a lot of people. So if you listen to sports broadcasting, my favorite is Tony Romo because he knows the plays. He was a player and he's very, very good and does a great job of announcing. He predicts the plays half the time. And my favorite person to listen to commentation on is when Kieran does it for New Zealand. And they just did one where it was Kieran and Jordan hopped on. And he is one, he'll never doubt the players or what they're doing. He knows the lines. He can call a lot of the lines as he sees the play progressing, what to do, maybe why they chose that line. Even if he disagrees with it, he'll be like, well, he might be doing this line to set up something else. Like, doesn't go, oh my God, what did, like, doesn't make it a cheese fest of excitement. This is cards. You don't have to make it like all, I don't know. They try to go too Joe Buck on it.
Yeah, that's a really good example. I will say that behind the super intellectual commentating that happens, behind that, my next favorite is someone who's just happy to be there. That's like enjoying the game play out.
Rob's a good combo of both.
Yeah,
when Rob does it.
Yeah, it's like he might not know exactly what this deck. Well, honestly, Rob probably does. He's a fantastic player, but like if you're not super knowledgeable,
he's just happy to be there.
Just be like having not obnoxious and like I need to make up for not having all this knowledge by being loud and like in your face entertaining. It's like no, just be like, oh, that was a super sick line like that. I can't believe that he held on to it for 2 turns to make sure that he could whatever. Like be excited to be there and entertaining and talking about what's happening without like trying to be something you're not. That is cringe.
Right,
that's
like,
cringy when you're trying to
which
be
they did. They talk about they talked a lot about their own play or my decks or my ProQuest season. Like Tony Romo never talked about his football days when he's announcing. He talks about the players on the field, what's happening, where the game state is at that time. There's other ways of feel. I don't know.
But it is.
I shouldn't complain too much because it has got better.
Yeah, it's getting so much better.
It will getting better. It's getting better. Yeah, it will continue. It's just hard because I do enjoy listening to New Zealand, and we're I love Tall Timmy, but even listening to him, he gets super like amped up and excited, and he has part of the times where
that's even okay.
He's a little too high.
That's okay.
Yeah, sometimes he gets too high for me.
As soon as I can tell that it's not genuine, it's like I'm off the board. Like not interested.
Right, because he genuinely loves to be there and is excited to talk to his guests, and I enjoy that more than when he gets super excited from a play, like the little too much. And I know that's his stick, and I enjoy his stick for that purpose. He does some fun stuff with that, but when he just calls it with, like you said, that just pure enjoyment, you can tell when somebody one of our commenters, when me and Blake had our awesome discussion, just people understood that we actually understand a lot of parts of the game and are just passionate about the game, and regardless of our opinion, they just no, we truly enjoy this game, and that's what I like. You know what I mean? That's what I like to see from other people as well.
Yep. Nope. I'm with you. Just be genuine. Be genuine, and I'm in. So I mean, not a ton to talk about. There's a couple things, but like, so skirmish season? Are we wanting to talk about like our blitz plans since we don't really do a whole
we can talk a little bit about skirmish coming up.
Yeah. So I spent last week getting 30 Guardian cards that I didn't own so that I could play Valda, because I want to try
Yep.
Valda because she seems like a pretty fun character. Like, it seems like the build that I went with was like a more aggressive build, and it was super fun. I had a lot of fun with her. Like, I think that Valda was great. And then I've got Benji, because I am a Benji truther, and I've got Kano.
Purist.
And I will not be playing Benji, I don't think. That just felt shitty. Like, I played 2 new guys at the local, 2 newer guys. Like, have only been playing for like less than 2 months. And yeah, I was like, hey, you guys got Ironhide armor in your sideboard, Arcanite Skull Cap, anything like that? And basically just like let them borrow and just been like, these are the 2 attacks that you block. And it's like, if they play around you having those attacks, then that's it. So I've been actually doing a lot of solitaire on Kano because you and Blake have been hooking me up with some advice for Kano, and that's been a ton of fun. So I think I'm just gonna be running Valda and Kano. But I know you've been working on some spice.
Yeah. So my first spice. Oh, so I made Icelander, and this is the hard part when you're so CC orientated. You make a deck, and then it doesn't work in Blitz. So I made it's too mid-rangey. It doesn't do anything I want it to do. It doesn't control good enough, and it doesn't aggro good enough. So it's just really bad. And Cody just waxed me with Datadol. Like, I couldn't stop him. It was so bad.
The worst.
He had like
to get fucking shellacked by.
9 items out, and he had like 2 plasma purifiers, 2 induction chambers. He had dissipation shields everywhere, hyper drivers, like optical monocles. So he just put whatever the hell he wanted on top of his deck and just drew it. And so that when he boosted, he got his items out. It was the deck functioned great. He ran really good, but not putting enough pressure on because I was getting too much of my control-y cards early. And there was nothing really to control because I did
board.
double blizzard. Yeah, he was just building board. So it didn't matter that I would control certain things because he was building board and could afford to work around those controlies where I needed to be aggro in those situations. So that's back to the drawing board with Icelander. That's just a hard deck to build, in my opinion. Maybe other people have better luck. So I have like 5 decks I want to work, but the other like pet projects is Cheyenne, and I switched mid armory into Cheyenne for the last round because we can do that sometime. And I made it really close against Kasai, so that felt really good to almost get Kasai. Like, it was back and forth. I switched like 5 cards out after that, but I think Cheyenne's got a chance because there's a lot of the two attack go agains. If you get into with the Benji specialization cards, people are gonna have to drop hand to block. So I'm just forcing cards out of their hand. I'm looking for bad blocks with her because if you get some bad blocks and then finish with an Alpha Rampage, it feels pretty good, especially because you attack local. Yep, crippling, endless winter. I went from blue pummels to yellow pummels just to get that extra damage. There's a lot of fun stuff there. Got Kasai built. Kasai's Kasai, and then I just want to make a KO deck just to roll dice in one. Just roll dice. But I will say with Cheyenne, the fun part is if I do play a KO, I have tons of attacks that I can roll dice on because I can become KO and then just like my goal is to play KO.
Just hit him with as many 2s and 3 attacks as you can. Because you're gonna
hit him with a crippling crush. KO. I become KO. Hit him with a crippling crush and roll 5. And this is a crippling crush for 22.
Yeah, but
for 22,
it's gonna be a crippling crush for 6. So
why? I don't roll bad. What are you saying? I'm gonna roll bad?
Yes, because that's what happens on KO.
No, I'm gonna roll
100%.
Not KO. I'm Cheyenne, and I'm gonna be crippling crush for 22 with Cheyenne. So I mean that's, and then I have Kano. I just took my CC deck and I ran through it last night real quick, and I think I popped 18 blues, 6 to 8 yellows and the rest reds.
Yep.
So I don't know how good that one is. I'll have to do what you do. I'll have to just solitaire it a couple times to see if I want to add another blue or not. See if I like my counts, but it's expensive. It's a little more expensive because the Aether or the Wildfire is a little more expensive. So, but it's key. It's key, and I don't know. I think he'll be good. He's my I don't know if I want to get too much into that. The next calling, I like Kano in it though. Whew. Little classic constructed Kano. That'd feel pretty good.
Yeah, I've got 16 blue.
That's light. That's light. You want to be probably 17 to 19.
17 blue. That's what I meant.
Yeah, that's a little better.
That's what I meant to say. But a lot of yellow. I mean, yeah, just with like your chains and tomes and sonic boom.
I actually think this Blitz season will be more fun than most because of the amount of heroes and the amount of good heroes. Like a lot of heroes got good specialization cards. Yep. So I just think that there's a lot of different decks that a person can run and have success with. And I mean, I haven't seen an Ira out yet. I haven't played with Dylan lately in Blitz.
God,
he had it out,
but don't run her. I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with a Blitz season off Ira. There's so many fun decks to be playing right now. You're right. I think that Blitz. I think that
there's a lot of fun decks
for the purpose of like playing a lot of new different matches. I think that Blitz is going to be fun. The skirmish season is going to be fun. What else is big? Oh, dude, the sleeves thing for top 8s now. Like,
so I didn't read that. Give me a little background info on that situation.
Yep. So the next ProQuest season, the judging. I'm judging Viral's ProQuest, and they're doing. This is not important to 90% of people, but they're doing the EA War Tunes again, and they're doing 2 like special sleeves, 100-pack sleeves from Dragon. I assume it's Dragon Shield since they got a partnership. But then top 8s are getting sleeves for being top 8, and it didn't mention cold
instead
foils.
Instead of the gold.
Instead of cold foils. The gold, they are still doing the gold cold foil.
So okay, good. So they are still doing that. That was my big concern is for first place if they were still doing that.
But top 8 now, you're not getting a cold foil, you're getting a box of sleeves.
So what would you value the cold foils that people were receiving as the heroes? What were they going for? $60 to $100, depending on who you got.
Yeah, depending on what you pulled, I suppose. But yeah,
probably. Were any of them going for $100?
No, probably not 100. I mean, if I had to guess, average was probably 65, 70. Right? What are we?
A box of sleeves is $11. $14.99.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I'm thinking is like it'd be cool. We were talking in the chat today. What if they did like all the fabled arts, like random draw fabled arts for the sleeves, and that's the only place you can get them is top 8. And you've got like the Eye of Ophidia art, you've got the Heart of Fendal heart, you got the Arcanite Shard heart, you got art, and you've got the Library, Corsham, and then Valahai. Like, dude, could you imagine Grandeur of Valahai art for your Guardian deck? Like those sleeves, like had to get top 8 to earn them.
So here's the thing.
I bet that those actually sell. I bet you could probably sell those sealed for $40 to $50 if that's what it was.
Here's where I'm at with those. As a person winning them, they do nothing for me because like a cold foil hero, I will build the deck for that cold foil hero, right? That's cool. Even if I don't play that hero, I'll just build a deck for it and then I will use it. Sleeves wear out, they tear eventually, and they go to hell. So I don't know. It's like you're giving me a prize. It's like when you give a girl you meet the flowers, like here's this beautiful flower. Watch it die over the next 2 weeks. Appreciate my love of death. That's how I feel the sleeves are. Here you go. Here is something. Watch it die. You get your dirty hand grease and soil these nice, beautiful sleeves over the next month until they tear open, and then you throw them away with a sad face.
I mean, my sleeves last a while. I was just thinking, like, if I got like the library art, that's what the sleeve was just like the library art. That'd be pretty sick.
Yep.
I would. I mean, I don't know if I would spend a bunch of money on it.
I would be
bet there's
more
people that would.
apt to use them for my equipment. That would,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
those
yeah.
sleeves really never go bad.
Mhm.
That would be, I'd probably just change them, because I run Dragon's Shield Black, because I don't know if I ever told you this, Dane, but I once played day 2 of a calling and shuffled my equipment into my deck. I don't know if I ever told you that.
You did.
And got an
You
IP3
mentioned that.
penalty. Yeah, that fucking sucked. So Kale first memed me on it and just said, "Hey, maybe you should get the big slab so you don't do that again." I'm like, "You son of a bitch!" But then I ended up just changing out the sleeves
Touche,
to
Kale.
black. But yes, so
Dude,
that doesn't happen again.
Kale had a fucking crusher on Facebook the other day. Did you see that? He's talking about
Which
how
one?
like, he wanted to let everybody know that he was okay. Everything was good.
Oh yeah. Where he got robbed.
Where he got robbed.
Yeah.
The police
Yeah, I got
showed up and
robbed.
he was shaking and stuff, and he's like, "It was pump too."
Yeah. Well, that was.
You had me.
It does. So as I work at home, so I get to catch all the news briefs. I mean, there's been so much breaking news stories over the past 2 weeks between the new justice, which is pretty sweet that'll happen here in the next day or two. I'm sure she'll get voted in. So I've watched some of that while I'm doing work. Got to see the press conferences after the summit today, and then all the other Ukraine stuff that comes in. But not a fan of them, of the old Presidente. He could hardly make it through today's news conference. Didn't know the words to. He's worse than me, of trying to get the words out of his mouth. And I just,
you're on your way.
Yeah, I am, but I'm not going to be president while I'm doing it either. Not a fan, but the whole I did this sticker on the gas pumps really doesn't work when the whole world is getting punished at gas prices. I don't know how he did that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get into politics and stuff, but like sometimes you just, regardless of who you voted for, you just kind of got to be like, nah, some shit
doesn't work in that situation.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, it's have they said how many Pro Tours are going to do a year? Is it going to be 2, do you think? Just 2? Or do you think they'll boost that up?
I mean, it's
the first real season. I mean, this is the first real year of the game, even though we had events and bigger events in the past. This is the first year where all the different countries are getting events, getting Pro Tours in different spots. I mean, this is the first real big year of this game for competitive play.
Yep. Like the first consistently big, and not like 2/3.
Yep. We had a bunch of callings last year, but yeah, it was mostly America nationals. Stuff got pushed off in other countries, so This is a big year for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, this year I could see there just being the 2, maybe 1 at the end of the year, but I don't think so. We'll see. But I mean, they got battle hardened events, which is cool. They got like lots of callings announced too. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it's gonna be a big year, but I don't know how many more Pro Tours they'll have. Because that one's not till August, so that's third quarter, 1 first quarter, 1 third quarter.
The other thing, what I'm curious about,
second quarter, third quarter, sorry.
Yeah, is when. So we know Classic Battles is coming out. We haven't seen Ryanar yet to see if he's got a new ability, but we could assume he is going to have a new ability.
Yeah. It's going to be cold foil. They already have a cold foil young Ryanar, so.
Right. But it's going to be a different one because he's going to have a different ability. It's not going to be.
That's what I'm saying.
Intimidate on 6.
I would be pretty bummed if they started reprinting cold foils.
Oh yeah, I gotcha. But they have not. We've got nothing. It's got to be in the next week or so here that we figure out what's coming out the 6th of May.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still grayed out. I'll be curious when they're going to start hyping or drop the name of the next standalone booster. So I do like that there's a lot of grayed out sets that they're kind of. I'm excited to see what they bring us for that. And I'm also curious in these classic battles, if we get anything spicy for reprints, you know what they could do, which would be really spicy. This is a good way to sell more products. Is there's a lot of
staples
decks that will give you a majestic or whatever one of your higher rarities is, but it'll be a random one, and you'll get a one of. So you could do Art of War, Tome of Faendal, Command and Conquer, Enlightened Strike, all in alt art foil, and you just don't know which one you're gonna get. And you only get one per box or per deck.
God, do you know, like, that would be cool. Actually, I immediately hated that, but now that like the more I think about it, like that actually kind of
A lot
works,
of things that do that
because one, you're giving like these cards to
new players,
right? Two, most likely people are buying a couple of these to get like play sets anyways, if there are new cards, which we already see that there's specializations, and I'm assuming that it's a starter, so it's blitz, so it comes with two. If not, it's just one. We don't know that breakdown yet either. So you're already buying multiple. So it doesn't tank the value of the cards, right? If they put Command and Conquerors and Easter eggs and stuff in there, it won't tank the value.
And you could go down to supers. Like you could put Remembrance in there as well. I know that's nuts, but I mean, you could put
if it started getting like that, I think if they picked like 5 or 6 to like reprint, like Command and Conquer, Enlightened Strike, Tome of Fendal, or 3. Fuck, I don't care. What's that?
Art of War.
Art of War, sure.
Because I would want it to be foiled, just like Dragon Ball did it. Force of Will, I believe, like did it.
4, 5, 6 reprints, and then just randomize it in each box. That's cool.
But it's got to be foil. It's got to be foil. It's got to be spicy foil, because nobody wants a dull card. Let's be honest.
It's true.
So, here's another thing that I'm going to do in my next, with building decks in mind. Either you want them all shiny, or I hate a mix. Like I've started to hate mix of shiny and non-shiny cards. It just bothers me. Shouldn't bother me. It does. I'm thinking I'm either going to go full shine or full first edition, no unlimited cards in my decks. If they're all non-shiny, there can't be an unlimited.
See, that's why you got to play just full shine first edition.
I have a couple that are close to that, but I don't have like Command and Conquers in first edition shine or
Easter eggs. Your foil Command and Conquers first ed?
No, I did not. Do you have foil Command and Conquers first ed?
No, I don't. I've got Easter eggs.
I have like 4 or 5. I sold my E-Strike Alpha. That thing's like $4,000 card.
The foil?
First edition Alpha?
Yeah, first edition.
Yeah, it's one of the most expensive cards. Yeah. I sold mine.
E-Strike, really? Fuck, I gotta keep up
it's like
on that
$4,000.
shit. I'm not selling it, so
right. But
maybe I should like $4,000.
Look it up. I could be lying, but I know it's in the thousands. It's an expensive ass card.
I gotta go back through all my alpha foils.
I mean, there's a lot of just. I was looking. I was on board as I was going through and looking up cards. Just there's a lot of pink shiny cards from alpha that are worth $100, $200. There's just like a lot of random $100 to $200 original that I didn't realize that are just rares, rares or supers. Not even the majestics. They're just insanely priced. Like I honestly couldn't believe it.
I really wish I would have gotten into the game like I'm into it now when we started. Just been like, but then I think like that, and it's like, that would have sold half. That would have been crazy. Like that would have been a leap to like go that hard into a game that like we were just getting into. So
I didn't. Did I tell that story on here last week about the Tome of Faendal?
No.
Or the Fendel Spring Tunic? When I bought our original decks and I ordered tectonic plating for my Bravo deck in cold foil, and my wife, I'm like, well, I should just get you the Fendel Spring Tunic in cold foil. but it's $150. And we're like, ah. She's like, well, if I'm just playing here, we don't really need it. You can just print it out. I'm like, yeah, but it's so cool looking. And I'm
God,
like, I'll
that's
just print
hurting
it
my
out.
it's hurting my
And
heart.
so chose not to do it. And I looked at it, and I probably had it on eBay in my cart 5-6 times. I never would have sold it if I would have got it. Same way I didn't sell Tectonic or Storm Striders once I got them in cold foil. But yeah, there's a lot of pain from a lot of us from our early days that sold.
Mark.
But right now, the only strike on TCG player in Rainbow Foil Alpha is $7,000.
What was the last sold for? I know you got that seller info.
I can't. There's no sales history for First Ed on here.
Yeah, if you guys watched our channel early on at all, our intro video that we had up for a while has an Eye of Ophidia like propped up in the front because they're like,
Yeah, in cold foil.
Mark pulled this cool card, let's put it up, and we did, and he sold it for what, like $500. It's like, oh,
$500. I have Ophidia cold foil opened in my basement. I held it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, do you want it because you're playing Kano? I'm like, no, because he's like, do you want to buy it? I'll sell it to you for $400. Offered him it to me for $400 on the spot right there. I'm like, no, that's dumb. That's dumb. I don't need a $400 card. Regrets.
I'm just happy I'm happy to be able to have those regrets because we got into it early enough where that transition is wild enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we sold some cards for expensive, got to have some fun. I mean, it's all good. It's all good. Could have made a little bit more, but what do you do? It was fun to play the game. Other thing I saw talking about the game, and somebody had posted about, is there power creep in Fab or something like that? The clickbaity stuff. I just thought to myself, I mean, do you not read the website at all? I mean, the whole reason we started with WTR and Arcane before Monarch, even though Monarch was supposed to come out at the same time or before, was it was supposed to be an easier game at first, so people understood. So yes, there's power creep. That the game was designed to have power creep because it was made in a more simple format.
Yeah, I mean, like, you've got the thing that blows me away, actually, that's impressive is how they managed. Like, you can play Katsu, the first set, you can play Bravo, and it is competitive still. Like,
right.
The fact that they managed that while still having the intention behind their first set to be like really base and no additional mechanics, and then it's like set 2 will introduce arcane damage and like a whole mechanic that is like huge in the game now didn't even exist, and then they introduced that, and then they, you know what I mean, like everything. Then all of a sudden there's these all like very much used alternate zones like Chain and the Banished and Soul and all that stuff. Like all of this stuff gets added in, and it's still pretty stinking well balanced. Like that's pretty impressive to me. So
it's still unbelievable that how well used E-Strike, Command and Conquer, Art of War, Tome of Faendal's fallen off a little bit. Sink Below, I mean, original set, just your standard rare. How well those have held up with all the power creep. How a lot of those cards that were originally printed still have places in the games. And you see spicy lists. I mean, the Channel Mount Heroic deck, they ran Wounded Blow. Because it was a 0 for 4. That's why. Just a generic card that nobody runs in Win a Pro Quest in the deck in a usable card. It was amazing.
Yep. So I think that anyone that complains about power creep in this game, like this is one of their first couple TCGs they've ever played. There must be.
It's not. I mean, there is power creep, but there's. Well, you can still temper it. I don't
even know what their definition of power creep is, because
that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
because if you're complaining about that, it's
OG Dory was pretty powerful. I mean,
yeah,
she was
but
really strong in that meta.
yeah, I suppose I'm trying to think like if she's fallen off just because people, if she's truly less powerful, or if people just know how to play against her now. Like she caught
I just
so many.
think she was the aggro deck, right? Her and
Mhm.
Katsu were the fast aggro decks.
It's true.
And then now you just have decks that go fast aggro better than she does.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's people are starting to try to find a control variant of her because she can be a very control-y deck. I mean, I'm fine. We're seeing in Blitz, and this is going to be the most annoying thing coming into the skirmish season is when you sit across the warrior, whether it's Dory Axes, Kasai Sabers, Bolton with whatever the fuck he wants to run. The armor suite that they have will just disappoint you, especially with Valiant Dynamos. The block in Blitz, to have that much block is why that class is so good in Blitz and will continue to be good in Blitz, is it just blocks so efficiently.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's one of the best things about running Volda is like just the fucking block is awesome. Like
Yeah.
it's not even as much as Warrior. Like you've got the Arcanite, I'm running
Crater.
the new the Crater, the
First
new
floor.
chess piece, whatever.
Yep, so that's only got one, so it's not quite as good as what Warrior's blocking.
No, it's 2.
Is Earthlore two temper? I
Yeah.
forget. I haven't, as you can tell, I haven't played that card for a while.
It's fun,
Since
dude.
it
It's fun.
first
Maybe
came out.
it's fun like playing into Kano at the local. I was playing and they kept like toming and stuff like that. I'm just like, all right, cool. That's a seismic surge, and that's a seismic surge, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, because when they're drawing cards, you're making surges, which means you can block out all the arcane super effectively, and then still be like, oh, here's a free 8 damage crush card.
Yeah, it's fucking
go
great.
Suck it.
Dude, even into like Benji, it's like I'm saving my armor. I'm gonna let you draw those 5 cards because that just means that I get to fucking.
Oh, you're drawing a ton and coming back at them.
Yeah, it's like I'm just gonna go fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. No, I think she'll be good. I haven't built her yet. I'll let you and Blake have some fun with her, and then if she gets really broken, then I'll build her up.
Yeah.
Let you guys
I
experiment.
more attacks, but no, she's.
I want Cheyenne to work.
Yeah.
I want her to work more than Icelander. I have time. It's her first set. She doesn't need to work this first set. She'll get more cards and become better. But there's just so many good cards now with Cheyenne, with all these specializations out that she's so close.
So what my thoughts on Icelander is that she is probably a good just generic attacker, but where she's gonna shine is like pitching a blue to just throw an arcane. And if it hits, you get to draw a card. If not, they have to dump a card from hand, and then you just attack. Like they have to block it with arcane. They're taking a piece of equipment that has to be null. She can break the null with like exposed to the elements, right? Which is crazy. And then you're basically just like if you pitch a blue to possibly draw a card, possibly push a damage, and then get to draw, have 2 floating resources and 4 cards in hand to like pummel a crippling.
You don't have floating resources. It's 3 to do it.
It costs 3 to attack with the Kraken staff thing.
Yeah, that's why it's not that great.
Oh,
so this is what I ran into.
Fuck.
Is I would do that. They would be okay. I'll pitch my blue and have 2 floating, and still come in with all these attacks with my floating resources, and now I only have 3 cards to block me. So nobody took very rarely did anybody take the arcane because it was so cheap to block.
I guess maybe like a lot of hit effects because that forces a card to block from hand to stop the arcane.
Yeah, I mean, I had Winters or Frostfangs in there, but my build's just not there. It needs to go back to the drawing board. Like I said, I have too much. You got to find your mix of either playing the blue from Arsenal is a little bit of a trap and I'll tell you why. You're constantly trying to set up, so you're not playing very effectively because you're trying to get a blue into your arsenal. So it screws up your hands.
I kind of feel like you just run. Is it just channels and blizzards?
So I have channels, blizzards,
And if you happen
winter's
to have
bites,
those,
winter's bites, emeritus scolding, stir of aetherwind, all in blue. I did have healing potions, which I'm going to pull out.
I think you
so
can't
just
lean
different.
I think you don't lean into the shtick that far, but you just play to it when you have it. If you see a
Yeah, no, I
blizzard
agree.
at the right time, just throw it in there. If not, I don't think you can play that effect isn't good enough to play around trying to get off. So.
Agree 100%. Yeah. So,
you got anything else, or can we wrap this bad boy up? It's kind of a chill night.
Yeah. I got nothing
no
else.
heat, no spice. Maybe we'll start doing like an every other thing, like just a chill podcast, and then a heated one where we fucking get into it. Well, next week will be after the first skirmish, so I'm sure we're gonna hear all the bitching about what felt bad, or all of the, hyping up the cool decks that we built. So that'll be good. Are you playing this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know how many I'm gonna play. I'm gonna have. So for the first one, I'll bring I'll have Cheyenne and Kano and Kasai, and then I'll decide once I get there which one I'll pick per me usual. Like there's no point in picking beforehand. And then if I'm doing bad, like say I choose Cheyenne, then I pack up and head to the next one at 4:00 and play in that one with a different deck.
You should come to Dumpster Cat Friday. Because
probably not going to go anywhere tomorrow.
Damn you. Dude, I've got a free Friday. And I want to just meet up and jam a bunch of Blitz games. If there's nothing else, thanks for joining us for Loki Week. Appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe. Talk to y'all next week. Peace.
See ya.